What is going on, everybody? What is going on? I am back. It's been a while since my show has been around. If you've forgotten or if you've remembered, my show was part of the All Sports All Play ASAP network. Um, Now, me being part of the unscripted crew, myself, Jay McLovin, Logan Landers, we have joined together and created our own network. As you can see on the top corner, ESEN, our new network, Elite Sports and Entertainment Network. We decided that it was time for us to fly, open our wings and fly to the heavens and do what we love to do. It's got nothing to do with bad intentions with ASAP or bad intentions on any networks that we've been in the past before. This was something that we decided to do together and decided that it was best for us to do as a team and as a whole and as a family. Um, but I'm back. Frankie the Yankee show is back here for you guys on a new network. Like I said, ESEN. Make sure to go and follow us. Like all of our platforms, like all of our streams, we give you the best that we can give you. Today we will be talking some baseball. Just because it's Frankie the Yankee show, don't mean we're gonna be talking about Yankees. Remember, I said that we're not gonna be talking about no Yankees, but we're going to be talking about some baseball. We are right now on the verge of the ALCS and in the NLCS, where you have the Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers, where we like to call it the Battle of Texas to get to the World Series. And on the other side, you have the Philadelphia Phillies going up against the Arizona Diamondbacks to go up against whoever wins in the ALCS. Now, we had both games on last night. Really most important game was, I think, to me, was that Houston Astros and Texas series, and we're gonna get it off right away because with me right now is Jay McLovin. Jay, everybody knows you're a diehard Houston Astros fan. Before you go ahead and give your topic and give your thoughts on the game yesterday, because I want to get some of your thoughts and topics on how your boys did. Go ahead and introduce yourself, get a little 2 to 5 minutes intro for yourself, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. As you can see, I'm still changing my stuff, but I had unscripted guys on there, and that's not even a thing anymore because now that we are a network, I had to change my stuff to reflect that. And it's a great thing. First of all, let me just say, first and foremost, thank you to Northeast Streaming Sports for letting us put our platform on their platform on Roku Sundays at 8:30 a.m. Check us out over there. Also, I'd like to thank that's Linda McGrath and such, and also I'd like to thank ASAP for allowing us to be a part of their platform for a very long period of time. And we made a lot of good friends over there and a lot of good podcasters over there. And I want to thank Jay Ness and Company for allowing us to be a part of it. But like Frankie said, sometimes you just want to do your own thing. Just want to do your own thing. And that's what we're doing, man. I got a great group of guys that I've been friends with since day one, and Logan and Frankie and Dustin and so forth and company. And then lots of other friends that I'm sure that will make appearances on here, like Mike and Rob and Gonzo and whoever else, that will make appearances because we still love the guys. And again, it's a great start. I'm excited about it. We got Unscripted, obviously. We got Frankie the Yankee show. We got Matt Mondays with Matt. And then and there's going to be a whole lot of other things. And again, we are getting into entertainment because that is part of what we do. So I can tell you right now, July, August, there will be a cooking show. I promise you, there will be a cooking show that my wife Mel, who is a certified chef, she's going to teach you how to can food. She's going to teach you how to butcher meat. She's going to teach you how to smoke. She's going to teach you how to saute. I mean, anything you want to know, this girl is going to teach you everything. And it's going to, Frankie, I swear, man, bro, she's going to make everybody a chef. And you, of course, Frankie's going to make an appearance too. Because for those of you that don't know, Frankie is also trained as a chef, and he's going to be making some appearances. Oh, yes, he will.
Yeah, I'm super stoked for that. For those of you who follow us, not just here, but also in the past, like Jay said, Northeast Streaming Sports and with ASAP Network, you guys have noticed that we haven't actually had a entertainment show where you will see cooking on a sports show as well, and that's something that we decided to take a turn on is not just also talk about sports, but to do something where everybody around the world likes to do. If you don't know how to cook, or even if you do know how to cook and you want to learn to cook something new, We're gonna get it for you guys, and I can't wait for Mel to come out and start her own show. Like Jay said, July, August, we will be getting more content for you guys. But Jay, let's get down and dirty. Let's do it, man. Let's slide into first base. Houston Astros tie up the series after dropping 2 at home in Houston. They go to Texas, not that far, about 30, maybe an hour, maybe 2. I don't know. I'm not from Texas. A little short drive. You don't have to ride on a plane. You just hop on the bus and you go down, whatever highway number it is. Like I said, I'm not from Texas. I'm pretty sure Jay will get into it. But you go to Texas and you take 2 from the Rangers, one against Max Scherzer, who was out for about 5 weeks, been out since early September with a dislocated shoulder or an elbow or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But you go into Texas, you take 2. Now you're going back home to Houston. How confident? Let me ask you a 2-part question. For one, how confident do you feel in the Astros taking a commanding 3-2 lead after Game 5? And number 2, do you feel confident that the Astros can somehow, some way win at home? Because for some reason, this series right here, nobody can win at home. Nobody can win at home. But to me, it's like it doesn't matter who wins at home because there's in the state of Texas. Damn it, it don't matter. You're in Texas, so it's like you don't win at home, but you do win at home. How confident? How confident do you feel winning in the next game? And how confident do you feel? Are you in on your boys winning at home?
Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's only about a 45-minute flight from Houston to Dallas. I mean, literally, by the time you take off, you're damn near getting ready to land. So it's not far at all. If you're a traveling team, you're literally only on the plane for about 45 minutes to an hour at best, and part of that's loading up your bags and whatnot. So, yeah, like you said, man, there's no real true away game because it pretty much is at home. I mean, even when you watch the Astros, when we were in Arlington, I saw just as many Astros as I did Yankees, as Rangers as I did in Houston, right? Here's the deal, folks. You know our kryptonite is our ballpark. Everybody knows our kryptonite is our own personal ballpark. Dusty has said it. Altuve has said it. Nobody can figure out why it is our ballpark is our ballpark. But like Dusty said, there are just certain ballparks that hitters love to hit in. And for whatever reason, I forget what the name of the Rangers Stadium is. I just know it's in Arlington. But in Arlington, Astros just run the gauntlet. And I will tell you, Frankie knows this. Frankie knows, man, that I'm competitive, that I love my team, and I hate when we lose. I hate when people come out like bandwagon. They want to try. By the way, Frankie, I want to let you know, in the group chat, when the Astros were losing, y'all were all over me like fly on fly swatter. But when we were over there kicking the crap out of them the last 2 days, I didn't hear nobody giving Oz crap about the Rangers. I just want to put that out there. Hold on, just put that out there. I'm just letting you know what I observed. No, nobody was giving Oz crap. I don't know, but you know what? It's just because they know that I'm a sensitive guy. I wear my heart on my sleeve, and they know they can get a rile out of me. That's really what it is. I even told them. I even gave them the precursor. I'm drinking. Please don't bother me. Hey, they want to bother me anyway. They just want to keep poking that bear. But no, look, here's the deal, folks. And Frankie, you know this. And Stat Guy, he's all about analytics. Well, let's be analytics for a minute. We were 7-1 in the regular season, the season against the Rangers in Arlington. 7-1. We swept them in Arlington a week or so prior to the playoffs even starting. So is it really weird that we are kicking the crap out of them now? Is it? I don't think it is. We play good in that ballpark, just like the Rangers play good in our ballpark. The only thing I'm really upset about is I knew we weren't going to take 2 games out of Houston. I just knew that. I knew that. I just wanted one. Just give me one. I don't care. First one, second one. Just give me one. And when we didn't get one, that's when I became nervous because I'm thinking like, okay, even if we go and then we take 3 again from Arlington again, we still got to come back to Houston. And I just don't know. So I will tell you this. This series is so not even close to being over. It's not even close. This is probably, I will tell you this, out of the World, depending on the matchup in the World Series, this is probably the best matchup ever, truthfully, in baseball right now, at least on the AL side of life. And until somebody from the NL side knocks us down, it's still the best damn matchup. Because look, I will tell you right now, We went there. They smacked us 2-0, and Verlander gave up a couple of hits, and our offense was just crap. So I will tell you right now, offense was terrible game 1. Game 2, everybody knows this. Frankie, you know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. That Framber Valdez is the reason the Astros lost that game. Straight up. Because if you notice, once they found, and I told Dusty, I said, Dusty, when the guy was on first and second, I could see Valdez had no command over his pitches. He had zero command. I was like, oh crap, this is gonna be one of these games. And I'm thinking myself, I'm telling Melanie, I'm sitting there yelling at the TV. I said, Mel, they gotta pull him. They gotta pull Dusty. He doesn't have it. Pull this guy. Let's do a bullpen game. We'll have a game of rest, and we'll go back and do what we do. He pulled him a little bit too late. I think he put him on the 4th inning. By that point, it was already like 4 or 5-0. He just didn't have it. But once our bullpen came in, well, then we shut him down. And then our offense actually stepped up, and they started doing what they do. Everybody knows Alvarez is the biggest ticket on the planet. Even Big Papi has told Alvarez on TV, you're the Big Papi right now. Even A-Rod has said that. Everybody knows it. Oh, by the way, last night, I just want to say something to A-Rod. I don't want to say something to Derek Jeter, the captain. Big Papi, no matter what happened, you had our backs. You were still saying Astros, Astros, Astros. I love it. There's no better feeling. Frankie, you know this. There's no better feeling than when somebody comes in game 1 and game 2. You know how they just chirp about Rangers. And they're doing it in all ballpark. And I'm like, and the Astros are the World Series champions. We get this chirp. Both games. And then when Alex Bregman comes in after that 10-3 shellacking, and Derek and A-Rod basically ate a big, juicy slice of humble pie. Oh my God, Frankie! I was like, I gotta record this. Yeah, because you ate some humble pie. But I will say this, Frankie. Look, 10-3. We're going into tonight's game. Tonight's game is pivotal. Honestly, it's probably the most pivotal game ever in this series. We gotta win tonight. We got it. Whoever wins tonight and rides that momentum into Houston is going to be the champion. I promise you. I swear to God. I don't think the Astros, at the way in which they play at Minute Maid, can make that comeback. And I just say that because it's just our kryptonite. It's not like Boston Red Sox, where Boston, when they came down from 0-3 to 4-3 in 2004, they were playing good during that second half. They were playing lights out in both ballparks. I just don't know if Houston has it enough. I hope they do. But again, so if we go 3-2 Houston, I think Houston takes it. If it goes 3-2 Rangers, I think it could absolutely be the Rangers. Absolutely. Because I don't know if Houston can pull 2 games off back-to-back in Houston. I just don't know they have that, brother.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna go back to what you were saying before in the start of this. I picked the Rangers to win this series 4-2. Everybody knows why. I have my hate for the Astros, and you know what? The hell with it. I'm gonna stay here live on the stream just for Jay. Real talk, honestly, and I told Jay this in private. There's a part of me that do want the Astros to win and go to the World Series, and the part for that is because the Texas Rangers got Aroldis Chapman. Everybody knows the details on what happened with the Aroldis Chapman and the Yankees last year. Basically him giving up on the Yankees and just saying the hell with you, and I'm just gonna leave and stay in Florida, my home of Florida, and you guys just deal with the hell whatever you want. I didn't like that. Okay, then the man gets signed by Kansas City, and then he gets traded over to Texas. Okay, whatever, cool. I hate it. There's a part of me that do want the Astros to win. It really does. But the Yankee part of me does not want the Astros to win, and I'm going to stick behind what I said. It's 4-2. And the reason why I didn't say nothing to you, Jay, was because just like you, just like me, we are diehard baseball fans. I've watched more Yankee games than I do the Astros, but I pay attention. And I know throughout the entire regular season, the Astros have owned the Rangers in Texas, in Arlington. So in my mind, I said, okay, they're going to go back to Texas. It's good that Texas got a 2-0 lead because you got the most 2 important games that you needed to get, the first 2 in Houston. It would have been okay if you left Houston with a 1-1 lead, but instead you had a commanding 2-0 lead. But in my mind, I said, you're going back home And in the regular season, the Astros destroyed you guys at home. I don't know if you guys got to go back on video and look at what you guys did wrong, look how you guys pitched wrong or something like that. I don't know what they had to do to fix that, but they did not fix it. They did not fix it these last 2 games in Arlington. I don't know what happened, and I don't know what's going on. But if it continues to go like that, this game is going to go to 7 games. It's going to go to 7 game series, and I couldn't expect nothing more. I like 7 game series, especially with a you got a matchup like this. This isn't just a championship series matchup. No, this is 2 teams going at it that are in the same division who actually fought the entire year for that first place spot of the division spot. So like this is 2 teams that know each other real well, and like you said, this is just like in 2004 with the Yankees and the Red Sox. 2 teams that know each other really well, and when you have a playoff matchup like that with two division rivals, you're gonna get something like this. You're gonna get a game that is just like this, and it makes it makes no better story. It makes no better story. This is a great baseball story for both Texas and Houston. Houston started off really slow, and they fought their way back to becoming division champions yet again. You got Texas, who started off really hot, looking like the World Series favorites, and then towards the All Star break and a little bit after, they slowly progressed down, and they had to fight their chance to at least get into a playoff spot, not the division spot, but a playoff spot. So this is 2 good teams, 2 good matchups. I like this division matchup right here in the ALCS. It's really interesting. I'm not 100% sure. Is the next game in Houston or is it still in Arlington?
So here's the deal, and there's a couple of things I want to point out to you as well, and get your thoughts on. The next game is actually tonight in Arlington. It will be Justin Verlander versus Montgomery. So basically, we get game 1 in Arlington today. Actually, not tonight. It's today at 4:07. So we're about an hour and 15 minutes away from first pitch. Frankie, let me ask you.
Hold on. You said at 4:07?
Yeah, 4:07. That's Central Time, so it'll be 5:07 Eastern.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 5:00. You know I speak Central now.
Yeah, I'm still used to you in your Eastern time zone.
Hey, listen. Hey, I'm still used to it too, man. Hey, there are times when I'm just like, what the hell are we doing? Hey, no, but seriously, look, Frankie, this is what I think is the key to tonight's game, and why I think it really favors the Astros more than it does the Rangers. And it's not because I'm biased, and I promise you that I'm going to tell you why. Last night, when you saw the game, you saw Henney come out first. He lasted maybe 2/3 of an inning. Then Dunning came out. He lasted
0.2 of an inning.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Well, 2/3. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. About 2/3. Either way, hey, watch it. He didn't make it out of the first. Let's just put it that way. We can agree that he didn't make it out of the first. And then Dunning comes up, and he don't last but maybe till what? Maybe into the 4th, and then we get the bullpen after that. My point is this. Just like the Astros, which, by the way, we have 3 rested setup guys now, and Presley, Abreu, and Montero, and Hector Neris. We got 4 bullpen guys that are ready to go tonight at any given moment. Do you think the Rangers have that many left? They are very thin at the bullpen. I'm going to tell you now, Montgomery's going to have to go at least 7. At least 7 if he wants to give the Rangers a chance. And I'm going to tell you right now, another thing. Not only is the pitching in favor of the Astros, I'm going to tell you right now, if you've noticed, and the 2 games in Houston and the 2 games in Texas, the team that comes out and punches first is a team that finishes at the end. So what I'm saying is this. The key for the Astros is to get into that bullpen quick. The second key to that is to come out and get in points on the board first. That's good. If we get points first, I promise you it's game over. If Astros score first, it's game over. It is. If you look at the Astros, when we do catch-up ball, that's the secret. When we do catch-up ball, the Astros chase rate goes way up. Like, we are chasing everything. And bad pitches become bad pitches. And people are trying to swing over the fence to get back in the game or swing over the fence to get back in the game. And it just doesn't play out. But when the Astros strike first, you see a different offense. You see a different offense because now they're relaxed. They're not having to catch up. They can be more selective with their pitches. And that's when they get the home runs. Abreu's big monster home run last night. Alvarez's deep ball when the bases were loaded. 7 of 8. 8 times when runners were in scoring position last night, the Astros got points on the board. 8 running scoring position, Astros got points on the board. So the key for the Astros is to put points up quick, get to the bullpen, and then let our bullpen and let Verlander does what he does. The key for the Rangers is to put points on the board first and hope that Montgomery gives you 7. That's going to be the ticket for today's game. And I'm telling you, folks, man, if you haven't been watching Altuve lately, this dude went 3 for 4 last night. I think he went 3 for 4 the night before. He on fire. When I say this man's on fire, this man is on fire. And when you look at it right now, the 4 biggest players, Altuve, Abreu, Bregman, and Alvarez, when all these guys are lighting it up on fire, and then you get a guy like Chas McCormick comes out of nowhere and just knocks it over the fence. I'm just saying. I fully expect. I'm not going to say it's going to happen. I don't want to say 100%, but I have prayed to the Lord, and I know the Lord. I asked the Lord, I know, seriously, Frankie, I'm not lying to you. I went to church. I prayed. I've been praying over this, and I feel like the Lord is going to give us the win tonight, and we are going to go back 3-2 to Houston. Now, once we get back to Houston, oh Lord, it's a whole nother world. And Frankie, one last thing before I turn it back over to you. You know, one thing we always know, the second time around is always the key. What I mean by that, we saw Montgomery the first go around, and he punched us in the mouth, and we couldn't get a damn run on him at all. But I promise you, momentum is on our side. Our hitters are hitting. We don't show emotion. And Frankie, I don't know if you noticed this, Frankie, but one thing I watched, and David Ortiz pointed this out, and I'm going to reiterate because I saw the same thing. The last 2 games, after we were punching them in the mouth, the Rangers' emotional state is bad. The body language is bad. But the one thing about the Astros is this, and Bregman said it the best. We've been punched all our lives. Since 2015, we've been punched in the mouth all our lives. We don't have emotion. We don't get up and we don't get down. We come out and we play every day to the best of our ability. And that's all you can ever ask for a championship, a World Series championship team. They don't get up. They don't get down. They ride that wave. They ride that momentum, and they keep playing ball every single out. And I fully expect the second go-around of Montgomery will work in the Astros' favor.
Yeah, I'm going to watch that game. I'm glad that you told me the pitching matchup because Game 1 was something I wasn't able to watch because, you know, I have a job now and I work late at night. You know, I go in at 8 p.m. I get out at 4:30. So it's like I could watch a little bit of the game at like 10:30, 15. You know, I take a 15 at 10:30, so I watch a little bit of the game. But it's like it's nothing. You know, I want to sit down. I want to watch first inning to ninth inning. I want to see emotions and reactions. You know, I want to see the important swings, the important hits, the important runs. I want to sit down. I want to enjoy it, and I'm gonna watch it just because of the pitching matchup. Justin Verlander lost Game 1, and that was the first time in his major league career that Justin Verlander had lost a Game 1 in the ALCS.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So he didn't pitch a bad game. He only gave up 2 runs.
Yeah, no, he didn't have.
We just got no offense.
It's just Jordan Montgomery showed up more than Justin Verlander did, and that's the thing that I feel that's going to be the takeaway is you're not going to get 2 games in one series of a bad Justin Verlander. You're not, and if you do, something is wrong. It's got to be an injury related thing with Justin Verlander that we haven't heard of because there's no way in hell that you're going to get a bad Justin Verlander in 2 games in one series. It's impossible. It's not going to happen. It's not. But I do expect that, you know, Jordan Montgomery is going to continue with his aggression pitching style. You know, in Game 1, I've noticed that Jordan Alvarez could not hit Jordan Montgomery's curveball. He couldn't. And every time Jordan Montgomery got up 0-2, he would throw the curveball to strike him out. He would. And I feel like Jordan Alvarez is gonna expect that this time around, and he's not gonna allow that to happen. And I do agree with you. I feel like Houston is gonna take advantage tonight of Jordan Montgomery, because like I said, you're not gonna get two games in one series where Justin Verlander is gonna just be terrible. It's not gonna happen. I don't expect it. I expect the Justin Verlander of old to come out tonight, be aggressive, get many strikeouts, and at least go six, probably 7 innings. I do see Jordan Montgomery going 7 innings. I can see that as well. But if the Astros do attack fast and attack hard and take a good commanding lead, I say if the Astros are up 5-0 by the third inning, they're definitely going to pull Jordan Montgomery. They're going to probably push him to the fourth and then pull him in the fourth inning. Um, but it's going to be an important game tonight. I'm really excited. And I can't wait. But in other news, let's
Hold on.
go ahead.
Before you go that way, because while we're still on the Montgomery thing, I just want to ask, because this is extremely relevant, not only for your show, but because this is Frankie the Yankee show, but also because who we're talking about real quick. So it kind of relates to both. My question for you, Frankie, is this. Montgomery obviously is pitching very, very well. And now there are links that I've seen on Facebook and I've seen on ESPN, and Frankie, I'm pretty sure you've seen it too, where now the Yankees have links trying to get Jordan Montgomery back to New York. What are your thoughts on trying to get him back to New York? Is it a good thing for you or a bad thing for you?
It's definitely a good thing. Jordan Montgomery, we had him in his early career. So, I mean, he wasn't bad with the Yankees. He did have some terrible games. He had a winning record. He had a good ERA. He was good with the Yankees. Um, I feel like his record was good because he will get pulled out of the inning faster. It's that rule where if a pitcher gets pulled before the sixth inning or something like that, the record of the win or loss don't go on them. It'll go on whoever becomes the middle relief. Um, and I feel like in his early days, that's what Aaron Boone used to do. He would like last 4 innings, possibly even five, and then Aaron Boone would pull him out. So like I feel like his win loss ratio with the Yankees would have been more of a loss than it was with wins. But he left with a winning record, and then he went and he grew up. He performed better. He became a pitcher that he wanted to be. He was a good pitcher with the St. Louis Cardinals. And he became a great pitcher with the
Right.
Texas Rangers. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
he, like I said, he grown up to be a really good pitcher. So now what I've seen with Jordan Montgomery and how he plays, I would like to have him back. I really would. I feel like he never had the chance that he should have gotten with the Yankees. I feel like Brian Cashman traded him away too quick, and Brian Cashman was trying to, be on the we need to win now mode, and then it didn't work out. We got him for Harrison Bader, and that didn't work out because look what Harrison Bader is. We ended up trading him a year later to the Cincinnati Reds. So I mean, it technically didn't work out.
But
Clearly,
let
it
me
didn't
ask you
work out.
this,
But
though, for real, though. I mean, sometimes, and I think you know this, it's not the first one player that's come to New York that just didn't pan out. Sometimes the lights of New York are just so bright that some players just don't.
yeah,
Some players, it's just not good for them. It just gets them out of their rhythm, gets them out of their mojo, whatever. They just don't play well in New York or for New
well,
York. You know what I mean?
well, it's because when you wear the pinstripes, you're not just wearing a Yankee jersey. You're wearing history. When you think of baseball, the first team that comes to mind is the New York Yankees. And I'm not just saying that just because I'm a Yankee fan. It's the honest truth. It's the God honest truth because of what the Yankees did from the early 1900s. Getting Babe Ruth and winning so many championships, Yogi Berra, all these people, man, all these people we had. We became not just a high good franchise, not just a dynasty, but we became like I don't know how to say it, a goddamn galaxy to the baseball. I don't know how to say it, but like we became
It's an
hella good.
iconic franchise. It's an
Yeah,
iconic
yeah.
franchise.
We became an iconic team. Yeah. So it's like when
Yeah.
you wear the pinstripes and you got the New York Yankee logo on your chest, a lot is expected of you. It really is, and I feel like it's because more of the fan base, we're just so used to always winning that we haven't, been on this train of not winning a World Series in over 10 years. We haven't been on that train, and it's something that we expect to change. And after, I feel like after the 2016 season, we had a chance within the first 3 years. We had a chance in 2017, but a lot of things happened in 2017 that we're not going to talk about. We're not going to bring up because it's in the past, and we don't talk about the past. Um, but we had many opportunities after that. Aaron Boone and the Yankees always made the playoffs. This is the first time that Aaron Boone hasn't taken the Yankees to the playoffs in his entire manager career with the Yankees. So I mean, we've had many opportunities. We had a chance last year where we were a really good team last year. We really was. And then, we end up going to the ALCS against the Houston Astros and we don't show up. For some reason, people get hurt. People don't want to hit the ball anymore. People don't want to learn how to score runs anymore. It was a really sad year to have a really good year. It was a really
Right.
sad ending to a really
Yeah.
good season. So I mean, I don't know. It's a more of a pressure thing when you wear the Yankees jersey, and I feel like now coming a second time around, if Jordan Montgomery does come to the Yankees, I feel like that pressure is not going to be more on him anymore because him himself knows that he is a good pitcher. And if he continues to have that mindset of being a good pitcher and not just having the mindset of, oh damn, I'm a pitcher in the Yankees organization, I gotta pitch good, he'll be a better pitcher come around the second time. On other news on the Yankees, I also want that young Japanese star. Imagine that
Oh,
if we
hey,
could
who
bring
doesn't
Jordan
want that
Montgomery,
guy? Who
if we
doesn't
could
want
bring
that guy?
Jordan, yeah, seriously, if we could bring Jordan Montgomery back and also get that young Japanese pitcher, our top three will be fantastic. I wouldn't even care about the 4 or 5. Our top three will be fantastic. We'll have Garrett
Well,
Cole.
apparently this Japanese, I forget his name, but I know you'll know it. But when I've read about him, he's supposed to. I mean, you think Otani is good because Otani is good because he's a two-way player. But I mean, on a pitching standpoint, this guy from a pitching standpoint is just lights. Like supposedly he's lights out. Like everybody's trying to recruit him. It's crazy.
The man had an ERA in Japan last year, this past season, of a one. I think it was like a 1.15, 1.16.
Yeah, it
An
was stupid.
ERA of a season. A
Yeah.
season, ladies and gentlemen, a season. Like, imagine that. You're holding an ERA of under 2, under 130, and you just like, that's insane. That's basically giving up 1 run in an entire season or 2 runs in an entire season. That's crazy. It's insane. And if he could do that coming into baseball, into the major leagues, whoo, oh
I'll tell you right
man.
now, I like Otani. I do. Don't get me wrong. I like Otani. But if you ask me, Jay, would you rather have Otani as a two-way guy, or would you rather have this dude with with under a 1.30 ERA? I'm gonna tell you every day and 4 times on Sunday. Give me the guy with the ERA for a season under 1.30 every day times 10 over Otani every day of the week.
Oh,
Every day.
definitely, definitely.
Every
Because
day.
I'm be real with you. You could call me crazy if I'm going out of line here, but yeah, Otani's a really good pitcher. He's really great, and yes, he's a good two-way player. But people really know Otani from his swings. People really get excited for Otani from his hits at bat. Like he get crazy home runs. He always getting home runs. He's always getting on base. So like he's a really good pitcher, but we barely see him on the mound. We see him every 5 days. He only goes on the
Well, you're not
mound
going to
every
see it for
other
a little
week.
bit now because I think he just underwent surgery. I don't know if it was Tommy John or what, but I know he hurt himself pretty good.
Yeah,
And I know it's an elbow issue. So if it's not
yeah,
Tommy John, it's close to it.
it's an elbow situation. I remember the news. It's an elbow situation where he got surgery, but come next year he won't pitch. He'll only be able to DH and hit. He won't pitch again until the season of 2025.
And that's really why Babe Ruth did it. I really believe. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons behind why Babe Ruth, because everybody knows that Babe Ruth was the original original two-way player. But obviously, they realized that Babe Ruth was more valuable in the outfield and just having it as an outfield than anything else. And I think that's really the case here. I just don't think your body is meant to be a two-way player at the highest of highest levels without suffering a lot of injuries. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's sustainable over the course of a long career when you're a two-way guy.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But let's move on. Let's go. Let's
Yeah.
go to the next league because we had a really, really good game last night. NLCS. For all of you who know, it is the Philadelphia Phillies going up against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Last night they were in Arizona for Game 3, and boy, what a game we had! This was a pitching duel between two good pitchers within the first 6 innings. No runs. We got a couple hits. I think we had a couple errors. But no runs was scored. Like I said, we had hits. We had a couple errors. No runs was scored in the first 6 innings. Then come the seventh inning or a little bit in the sixth inning and into the seventh inning, where we see a little bit of offense finally. Bryce Harper gets the first run of the game for the Philadelphia Phillies due to a wild pitch. This was a wild pitch from a reliever of the Arizona Diamondbacks. But then he gets out of the inning, gave up a one run. Then come bottom of the seventh, Arizona showed some light, and I think it was Tommy Pham who had a base hit or walked, and they ended up throwing out a pinch runner out there, and the next batter up got a good drive into center field, and that runner was so fast, Jay. I'm talking about he turned on the sonic speed that he has ever done. The man ran from first base all the way to home to tie it up for the Diamondbacks. And it was a good game all the way into the ninth inning where Arizona ended up walking it off, bases loaded, no outs. And Mantle comes up and he gets a base hit line drive over to the center field, left center field, and got the walk-off win for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Philly now leads the series 2-1. Let me ask you this, Jay. Do you see some light in Arizona? Can they come back in this series, tie it up, and hopefully probably even take a 3-2 lead before they have to deal with a road trip back to Philly? Because we know if they go back to Philly, it's going to be lights out and they're going to lose because that Philly fan base is just something. It gets into the head of the Arizona team where they didn't show up the first two games, but when they came home, they had some life behind them with the fan base. We had a good pitching matchup, and then we had some life in the offense of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Do you see some life in this team?
Oh, absolutely. Look, here's the deal, man. Everybody knows that Philadelphia is a buzzsaw. Everybody knows that, but they were a buzzsaw last year. Honestly, Philadelphia's been a buzzsaw 2 years in a row now, honestly, in my opinion. But at the same time, I told myself in this particular series, I said, they went just like we did. They got punched in the mouth at home. And, had they not won game 3, I would have said, yeah, okay, we're done. There's just I just don't see it. But the fact that they came back and took one in Philly, in the heart of Philly, No, they're in Arizona now. I apologize. I'm sorry. They're in Arizona right now. Yeah, they lost 2 in Philly, come back home to Arizona. They take 1 in Arizona. They're going to have to take 2 more. I know that sounds incredibly hard, but I feel like with this Arizona team, they got to take 3. They got to take 3, and then they got to go back and duke it out in Philly. I just think Philadelphia at home is extremely hard, and when they get the pressure of that fan base behind them, it's even harder. So I think the best shot that Arizona has, because unlike the Astros, they actually play good at their home. So the best shot they have is to take these 3 at home. If they get 2 at home, it doesn't matter. Okay, we'll go back and we'll deal with it, in Philly. But they got to at least get 2. I'd like to see them get 3, but they got to get 2 in Arizona before I can say if they have light or not. What I will say is this: they are out of ICU, but they are still in critical care unit. And if you've ever been to a hospital, there's a difference. ICU means, hey, one more game and it's over. You just over here taking up space. CCU, critical care unit, hey, there's a chance. There's a chance, and we're good, and he's stabilized. And I think Arizona is stabilized. Now, where they go for the stabilized position is anybody's guess. So that's where I got it right now. Right now, I've got him in the critical care unit. Walker and Carroll are still incredibly great baseball players. Castellanos, Jesus, man, this guy is just having an incredible year. And then, of course, you got Harper and Schwarber, and those guys are just juggernauts. So can they handle the 3-headed monster of those guys? Well, tonight we got, I believe, let me double tap, make sure I'm saying their names correctly. Tonight we get Sanchez, which is a left-handed pitcher, versus Mantiply, which is also a left-handed pitcher. So we got 2 left-handers going at it. And if you look at the favorites, if you look at ESPN, it's 48-51. Okay. I look at 48-51 like 50-50. Frankie, I don't know how you look at it, but when I see 48-51, to me that's 50-50. It just depends on who comes out and who sucker punches first and who can take the punch and come back or fade out and go into ICU.
Yeah. Yeah, when I look at that numbers as well, I round up and round down, and to me that looks like an even matchup. two left-hand pitchers going at it tonight. Arizona showing some life after last night's walk-off. I do believe Arizona can do something. I mean, this is a team that literally swept their way all the way to the NLCS. Um, and not just on I forgot who they played in the first round. I'm trying to remember.
Oh, you're talking about Philadelphia or Arizona?
Arizona. I forgot who they played in the first round of the
Um,
wild card. It
L.A.
really don't matter.
They
Did
played
they
L.A.
lose? No, they played LA in the division series.
Oh, okay. I forget then.
Yeah, see,
I don't know,
because
man.
the wild card doesn't matter to us. That's why it was so long ago. It really didn't matter.
But
But
it's true, man. Honestly, I mean, hey, wild card. That's just trying to get your foot in the door,
yeah, I mean, so they actually swept away all the
or
way
I
over
should say,
here.
keep your foot in the door.
Philly, man, we expected this from Philly. We really did. Philly, going to the World Series last year and losing it to the Houston Astros, as and as we all know, um, they obviously wanted to come back and get that title. Um, this is a really really good series. I really expect the Arizona Diamondbacks to come back and tie this game tonight. As long as their pitcher pitches well. Because like I said before, like Jay said before, pitching is really important. And the fact that you have two left-hand pitchers tonight, it's really important. It's really hard to hit off left-hand hitters. It really or left-hand pitchers. I apologize. It's really really hard, and that's a little bit of an advantage right there for Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper is a left-hand hitter, and he hits off left-hand pitchers really well. So I expect a really close game again tonight with the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Philadelphia Phillies. I did pick the Phillies to win this series, though. Just like I said before, and like Jay said a little while ago, because if they go back to Philly, man, that crowd and that fan base it's hard to win off them. It's really hard to win in Philly.
I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'd have to go back to my memory banks. My memory banks aren't always that good, but I believe when the Astros in the World Series went up against Philadelphia, we actually went down, I believe, 2-0 going to Houston. And then Brantley had a conversation with the team. And then once he had that conversation with the team, then we were able to turn the series around and bring it back in favor to Houston. I don't know that Arizona has a Brantley specifically type of guy on their team, or if they have that leader on their team that can give them that kick in the butt and say, let's go. Obviously, they had somebody because they took game one in Arizona, but I think they're going to have, just like Houston did, they're going to have to continue that mountain climb. It's almost like David and Goliath, right? I feel like Arizona is kind of like a David team, and obviously Philadelphia is like a Goliath, right? And I feel like, it's David versus Goliath. And does David have enough stones in his bag to take out the giant and give him the win? Tonight at 7:00 when they go off, it's gonna be a telltale, and we'll see what happens. I got to be honest with Frankie. I love an underdog. I really do, and I'm really pulling for Arizona in this. I really am.
I am
But
also.
part of me also wants. I ain't gonna lie to you, Frankie. I'm gonna tell you right now. Part of me really wants Astros and Philadelphia to go back at it again in the World Series, punch them one more time in the mouth, and send them home like the little dog birds they are.
Yeah,
and that's really just why I have bragging rights over Philly sports guy more than anything.
I look at this and I look at this matchup, and it's really really important for the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. And like you said before or a little while ago, you don't know who their that person in the locker room is or who their Michael Brantley is. To me, it'll have to be Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham is a longtime veteran. As all of you know, he's a former New York Mets, and he got traded away from the New York Mets to the Arizona Diamondbacks with the trade deadline. Um, which good job for him. He must be super happy, Jay, because I would be ecstatic right now if I got traded from the Mets to go to a team that ended up in the NLCS right now. While your team right now is just a dumpster fire.
Yeah.
But congratulations to Tommy Pham. I feel like he's more of that leader, go-to guy that should be stepping up and talking. But like just like you, I'm not an Arizona Diamondback fan. I don't know that team, that lineup really well, and I don't know who that person is. But in my mind and my thought, it should be Tommy Pham, just because like I said, he was a New York Met, and just because I'm a Yankee fan, don't mean I don't follow the Mets. They're a New York team, so I got to follow my retarded step-headed son. But it is what it is. Game 4, I believe it is, right?
Yeah, tonight for them is game 4 because they're behind us.
Yeah, it's really weird. I didn't understand how they had game 1 and then they ended up having a day off. I was like, what the hell? They didn't do that with the Houston Texas series.
No, they
ended up
did
playing
not at all.
back-to-back games.
And I don't know if that's a distance of flight times. Maybe that's why they did. Which, honestly, if they did that, I'm not going to be upset about it because I totally get that. It's a little bit longer of a flight than it is to go from, Houston to Dallas or Dallas to Houston. I mean, that's just like I said. It's almost like you go up, and by the time you get to your altitude, you're already descending to go back into your destination. So it really isn't too much to ask the Astros to do that kind of a trip because it's really nothing for them. But I'm going to say this though, man. I'll tell you. And Frankie, this is just the way it is. And I hate to say this about Arizona. Hey, Arizona, if you're out there in Arizona, don't take this personally, but I think Frankie's going to agree with me. Regardless of whether it's Houston or Texas that goes to the World Series, the only way that this could be an amazing series is if Philadelphia is there. If Arizona is there, nobody's going to care. It's going to be like, it's a walk in the park, Kazansky, and they're going to turn on to CBS or whatever it is they got going on, and they're going to watch something else because – not that Houston and Texas aren't attractable teams. It's quite the obvious, or the opposite. Is that Arizona isn't. It's like that ugly girl at the everybody dances with her just they feel sorry for her, but nobody really wants her there.
I don't know.
In order for this to be this series to be exciting, it has to be Philly versus Texas or Philly versus Houston. Houston and Texas will bring the excitement on their end. But I don't think that Arizona can bring it on their end. And it really kind of comes down to Arizona and the attractiveness of Arizona being there. I might be wrong.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
Yes, you would.
No, I'm not, and I'm not just saying it because I'm just saying that because
Arizona, go ahead. Give me your reason why.
They actually had a good season this year, Jay. They actually are having a Cinderella moment, in their own theory. If you really look at it. This is a team that last year was absolutely horrible. They were literally like eliminated before freaking July. They don't even announce eliminations that early, and they were already eliminated. We knew that. Coming into this year, don't forget that this year they waived their ace before this. Their number one pitcher that they had on that team, they waived them and they got him out of there. They kicked him out of the door and said, "Listen, you're not our ace anymore. You're not who we thought you were. We're gonna have to let you go. You're fired. We're not even gonna wish you in your future endeavors. You're just get out of here." Right? That's what they basically did to the man. And they ended up at one point in the season, they ended up being a division leaders over the Dodgers. They did end up having the division lead over the Dodgers at one point in the season. So, I mean, this is a little bit of a Cinderella story for Arizona to also come into the playoffs, a wild card team, sweeping the wild card, sweeping the Dodgers, who, like I said just a few minutes ago, had the division lead over them. They come in and they swept the Dodgers, and now they're going up against the Phillies, who we all thought that the Phillies were going to sweep, but yet they end up showing some life last night off of a walk-off. If they could do that last night, who said they can't do it again? I mean, like I said, they're having a Cinderella moment. And don't forget, Jay, you said if they end up in the World Series, no matter who they face, Texas or Houston, it's going to be probably a dog park for other people to look at it for the AL side of things. But let's not forget, and yourself, Arizona swept you guys in the regular season, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I don't – you must be talking about the first part of the season. I'd have to go back and look at it. I know at the end of the season, the last – watch this. The last series that Houston and Arizona played was against each other before we even entered the playoffs, and we swept them in Houston.
Yeah, I remember it It must have been earlier in the
But
season.
again, I'd have to go back and look at the schedule. I'm not saying
Yeah,
that because I will tell you right now, Frankie, you know this. Me and you had conversations
because
when I told you in the beginning. Watch this up until the All-Star break. Man, how many times did I tell you, Frankie? I just feel like this isn't our year, man. I feel like we're just not doing what we're supposed to be doing to get the. We were losing to teams that we shouldn't be losing to. It was
Jay,
crazy.
we were both on the team. We were both on the train of our teams are bad this year. How are the two teams that represented the ALCS last year this bad? And this was in the month of like May. Like
Yeah,
1 month into the season, both me and you are like, our teams are garbage. We're over
right.
here before we're over here spring training, over here saying, well, we know it's going to be Astros and Yankees in the ALCS. Well, we got one team right. We got
You know,
one
and
team
I'm not,
right.
hey, and I'm not over here trying to toot Mickey Delaney's horn by any means because I love Mickey. Mickey, you know I love you, man. I know you and Frankie got issues, but me and you've always been kind of cool. You're a little bit older guy. I'm an older guy. Frankie's kind of a youngin', but just between two old guys, you know, because I speak Mickey language. Look, if you never read a text message from Mickey, you got to learn how to decipher some stuff. There's either some letters missing or some letters construed. All I'm saying is, Mickey, there was a time when I literally thought that Seattle, and I still think Seattle is an extremely dangerous team out in our division. Because honestly, and Mickey knows this, we've had conversations, even though the Astros are evened up with Texas in the ALCS, I would rather play Texas every day of the week than play Seattle. Because, Frankie, you know, like I know, there are just some teams that have your number, man. They have your number. They just do, for whatever reason it is. Mojo, superstition, routine, whatever you want to throw in there. There are just some teams that have your freaking number. And Seattle for the last 2 years, well, no, for the last year, this year, because last year we beat them in the playoffs. I can't say last year, but definitely this year, Seattle has had our number all season. They've had our number.
Yeah, they just choked
I
again.
told Frank, I said, man, I swear to God, I pray that I don't see Seattle in the playoffs. Just don't let me see Seattle in the playoffs. I'll play whoever you want me to play. Just don't make me play Seattle.
They choked again. They choked
They
again,
did.
as we
At the end of
already
the day,
saw.
hey, at the end of the day, you're right though. At the end of the day, they did choke at the end, right?
They choked, man. They choked. We choked in the season, but they choked in the end.
Because
They choked in the
believe it or
end.
not, towards the end of the season, almost before the playoffs, there was a point where Seattle was number one.
They had a 3-game division lead
Yeah.
because at that point it was you guys going up against Texas while these guys are winning. You guys are fighting each other. These guys are over here on a quiet little win streak, and they ended up with a 3-game series lead. And somehow, some reason, some way, they disappear. They disappear.
Yeah. And I will say this though. I feel like no, I'm not going to say that because I was going to say I feel like Seattle's been getting better every season, but that's just not true because last year they were in the playoffs and this year they missed the playoffs. So I guess I really can't. I don't know, Frankie. Baseball is such a weird sport, right? It's a weird sport, man. You can be dominant one part of the season, not dominant another part of the season, slightly dominant the third part of the season, and either dominant by the end or not dominant by the end. I mean, baseball is just, I don't know, man. It's the weirdest damn rhythmic sport I've ever seen in my life. More than basketball, and I even think more than football.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's because it's a long season. You know, teams start off
Oh,
hot, but then they end up being cold. I mean, look at like I said, look at Baltimore, look at Tampa, look at Atlanta, look at the Dodgers. You know, all
yeah.
those. All right, go. All them teams, man, for the first time. Whatever. Then give it to Gemma. Um, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. While Frankie's handling this problem, I will tell you this. One thing I love about baseball, and I hate about baseball, is number one, the ebbs and flows of it. But two, I hate the length of baseball. I wish they would shorten the season. And Frankie, I don't know if you know this or if you've seen this, but since we're kind of at the end of the show, I want to talk about this real quick. I have now heard where there were actual discussions about extending the playoff format to more teams. Now, Dustin doesn't see a problem with it. He says he's fine with it. Me personally, I'm okay with extending the format, but I want to see less games played in the regular season if we're going to extend that format.
Mm, I like how it is. I don't like less games. I mean, look at the COVID season before. You know, we had like 60 something games. We had teams that were like, like the Dodgers. It was weird. I don't like less games.
But
I
how much
mean,
wear and tear? If you go the extended format, how much wear and tear are we going to put on the pitcher's arms, battling through 4 or 5 rounds versus maybe 2 or 3 rounds?
I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
I think the longer you go in a postseason, the younger the team is, the more it's going to play their favor. Because the older teams, what I mean by older teams, or the older pitchers, the DeGroms, the Scherzers, the Verlanders, and I think Snell is kind of getting to that point. Pitchers that are your aces, but they're a little bit up there in age. I think it's going to start affecting them as the deeper they go in the playoffs.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. But
Unless you're a Scherzer or a Verlander and your team doesn't have to play until the NLDS or ALDS because the first 2 rounds are just getting rid of the bottom feeder playoff teams. And if that's the case, then I'm with that. But if your bottom feeder team has a Scherzer in it, God forbid, because you're going to have to manage their minutes.
or what you can do is lock in your division win real early in the season and start resting your players. You don't have to, play them normally like how you do. You can just sit them, rest them, bring up some prospect pitchers, pull down some middle relief pitchers or something like that, and get those young guys, a little chance in the major leagues while your starters are actually resting, getting ready for the most important part of the season, which is the playoffs. And
But I
like
will
you
say this:
said,
there are some aging pitchers. I will tell you, Verlander's one of them that does not like to have long rest periods. Like I will tell you right now, Verlander, he wants to pitch every 4 games. That dude doesn't like anything shorter, and he doesn't like anything longer. He wants to pitch specifically every 4 days, and that's hard to do in the if you're going that deep in playoffs.
yeah, Garrett Cole's that same way too.
Yeah. And then think about this too. If you're in the playoffs and I got to wait 2 or 3 weeks before I ever see a competition game in the NLDS or ALCS, how much rust or timing problems is that going to cause those guys? Because they're going to be over there chilling.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
maybe,
there's a lot of factors when you extend that format. There's a lot of factors that go into baseball more than basketball or football or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah, I see it now.
I don't know, man. Hey, if they want to extend it, hey, go ahead and let them extend it. But I definitely tell you this: there's going to be a lot of craziness during that first initial run. That first time they do it, you watch how much craziness happens.
All right, Jay, you got any final thoughts before we head out of here?
My final thoughts are: go Astros.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget tonight, Game 5 of the ALCS between the Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers. That begins in about a half an hour, actually, from now. Jay said 5:05, if I'm mistaken, Eastern
Yeah,
time.
407, 407
407.
Central, 507 Eastern.
Alrighty, and then you got Game 4 of the NLCS tonight at 7 between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2 most important games. Who will represent their representative, should I say, conferences come World Series time, which should be by next week, if I'm not mistaken, by the end of next week or a week and a half. The World Series gets underway.
Mm.
Most important game tonight for me, it's got to be the ALCS, just because I'm an American League guy with the New York Yankees. I would like to see who's going to represent the American League. It's going to be a Texas team. Do I want it to be a Houston team? Probably not. Would I want it to be a Texas team?
You
Definitely
are
not.
such a hater. You are such a hater, man. Damn. Hey, hold on. Hey, I'll tell you this. I'll tell you like I told Jonathan Mathis when he was hating on the Astros the other night. You don't always get what you want.
Oh, I know. Trust me, man. Being a Yankee fan, man. Being a Yankee fan is sad right now. I'm currently sad right now actually right now I want to give a quick shout out before we head out to my New York Liberty. For those of you who don't know, my New York Liberties have lost WNBA
That's okay, though.
championship.
They put up a good fight.
They really did. They really did. I'm still proud of my girls and what they did this season, making it all the way to the championship and having to go up against the tough Las Vegas Aces. Congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces becoming the first time back-to-back champion since I believe 01-02, where the Los Angeles Sparks did it in the early days. So congratulations to the Las Vegas Aces, and congratulations to Tom Brady, who now adds another ring to his finger. Yeah, how more can he become a GOAT than to go in and be a minority owner of the Las Vegas Aces and now get a ring on his finger of a women's WNBA championship ring? That's a
Hey, let me say one
beautiful
thing. She
thing.
brought up Brady. Let me just say one thing. It's a super quick sentence. Jim Irsay, stop hating on Brady. If they want to sell that man 10% of the Raiders for 175 million, let that man buy his 175 million. Just sit over there and be quiet.
Seriously. But thank you all for tuning in for a special episode of Frankie the Yankee Show, where we discuss the ALCS and NLCS. Hopefully, I'll be back soon again. I start work again tomorrow night. That's, it's my Sunday. But I will be back hopefully by next week, where I will discuss World Series matchup. Because by the time coming around, when I come back, we'll probably heading into the World Series. Um, and also, we'll be talking. I'm gonna probably add in of a little bit of football. I want to discuss some football, probably some week 8 stuff. But other than that, we're gonna
We
be
may well talk to Jim Harbaugh and what's going on down there in Michigan.
yeah, we'll discuss some stuff. Now that baseball is about to soon end, we're gonna be discussing a little bit of more stuff. But for right now, I'll be back next week, hopefully with Jay McLovin or even Stat Guy or hopefully Logan. We'll get everybody in here and we'll talk some baseball for you guys and leading up to the World Series. Like I said, hopefully by that time coming around, it'll be World Series matchup time, and we'll finally see who's going up against each other in the World Series, representing their national or American League champions. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, your moderator, your guru, and everything you can think of, Frankie the Yankee, joined by Jay McLovin, Houston Astros fan, and Dallas Cowboys. I don't know what you want to say, fan for now, but then sad in the playoffs. I don't know.
I'm always a fan. I'm just a depressed fan.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, share the streams. You can follow us on every platform, basically, and every content of Twitter, or shall I say X now. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitch, TikTok, everything. We're there at our new network, Elite Sports Entertainment Network. Or if you want to find us shorter, you can find us like at the bottom at ESEN Network on X. We're everywhere. We want to thank you guys for all the love and the support, and we'll catch you guys next week.